What percent of the brain is in your subconscious? 88, they say 83 to 88, correct. I don't know exactly how you'd know, but 83 to 88, somewhere in there. So that's a big chunk of your brain is actually in your subconscious, right? And so your subconscious is here hearing this, what's going on. So what does it hear when it says, I've got to strengthen the relationship with my spouse? It hears, the relationship with my spouse sucks. Because your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between fact or fiction. Your subconscious mind is here working. It's like soil. It's like the richest soil in the world. And if I put a seed right here into that soil, and it grows tansy, which will kill, or I put a seed, and I put a seed over here that says for an apple tree, and it's going to feed the planet, the soil doesn't care. It's going to nourish both of them equally. True? So it's going to nourish both of them. It doesn't care. It makes no judgment. It just takes care of it. Our subconscious mind works very similar to that. Works very similar to that. So what we feed into it. So what does it do when I say the relationship with my wife, I need to strengthen the relationship with my wife, that says, and it's going to go to because. And your subconscious mind has a perfect memory, so it's going to, every time it looks at things, it's going to say, well, because she doesn't support me in this, because she doesn't support me in that. And so it has a tendency to start looking for all the things and all the becauses of why things happen. So I said, stop for just a second. Let's see if we can't rephrase this. Let's see if we can't move this and rephrase this in a different way. So we worked with it back and forward. I said, can you do it in the form of a question? So the question became this: what can I do today to strengthen the relationship with my wife? Now, what happened then internally to your subconscious? How many hours a day does your subconscious mind work? 24. If it doesn't, you're dead, right? So it's working 24 hours a day. Your conscious mind, who knows? So your subconscious mind, we know it's working 24 hours a day. So it's now working not to find the problem, but to find the solution. So put it in the form of a question. Have you ever heard of people being in the zone? They're not thinking about it, it's just happening. And it happens because you get the empowering question. And if you can get the empowering question right, if it's the right question, and that takes some skill, we're learning how to do that. If you can get the right question right, it makes a difference. Last story, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So, the empowering question story. I had the opportunity to speak from 5,000 people at the Bellagio about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I was scared to death. And the reason I was scared because, number one, nobody knows who I am. I'm not a public speaker. I speak occasionally. And so, but they rented every room in the Bellagio. Every room. Every ballroom, everything. 81 countries, people show up. Great company, 25th anniversary. They wanted 3 great speakers to lead up, 20 minutes each, to lead into the founder of the company. The first speaker has been a coach to 5 presidents. The second speaker is the second most downloaded TED Talk ever. And then there's me. Well, And they tell me that somebody told him I'd be a good speaker, and I'm like, well, wait a second. And I'm looking at this, I'm going, whoa, okay, I got to do this, I got to figure out this in 20 minutes, I got to do this, I got to do this. And luckily somebody said, Lee, what's your empowering question? And whoa, came back to me. Instead of going into that space, I went into this space. I first started as simple as possible. Can I give a 20-minute speech? Secondly, can I give a 20-minute speech that inspires? Can I give a 20-minute speech that inspires this audience to ask a question they've never asked before? Because if you ask a question you've never asked before, you're going to get a result you've never expected. And it's going to give you a different answer, they give you a different result. Finally, can I create a speech? Can I deliver a speech that will inspire this audience to ask a question they've never asked before and prepare them to receive the message from their president, from their founder? And then the answers came in the shower. Wherever they came, they just came. And it went well. It went unbelievably well because I surrendered and I didn't give up on it. And I just surrendered in a completely different way in going into that empowering question. So when you're going to hear people saying, when I go home, I need to do this. I got to do that. When I hear these great messages, I got to get out and do this. I got to make this happen. I got to have this happen. Just stop them. Can you rephrase that in an empowering question? It's tough to do. It's tough to do. It's a habit that you've set up for years and years and years. But if you move into that space, it's going to happen.